You probably read the title and thought, no way. I get it. Everything we're told about market research involves huge budgets, big data, and complex surveys. But after my first business venture hit a wall, I learned the hard way that for most of us, that's terrible advice. The simple 3-step framework on the board right here, it is the cheat code that proves the old way is wrong. And it's the secret to finding your market by starting intentionally small. In this video, I'm giving you that exact 3-step playbook. We'll start with why you need to stop brainstorming and actually start listening. Then we'll cover the 3-client rule for getting rapid feedback, and we'll finish with how to master the art of the pivot. Alright, the first step in this cheat code is a principle that will save you months, if not years, of wasted effort. You have to stop brainstorming and start listening. I don't mean you should never have ideas. I mean you have to stop falling in love with a solution before you are deeply in love with a problem. The goal here isn't to dream up some massive platform. It's to find one hyper-specific, painful problem that a real person is complaining about right now. Why is this so crucial? Because if you don't, you can build something people want, but that no one will ever pay for. I know, because I got burnt by this personally with one of my first ventures. I tried to build a real estate platform. The market, the people who browse for homes, would have loved it. They did love it, but they weren't my actual customers. The people who I needed to pay for the service, the core stakeholders in the industry, wanted nothing to do with it. It wasn't because the idea was bad. It was because they had been burned by similar tech promises in the past and had zero trust. But I didn't know that because I never truly listened to them. I didn't even ask. I just charged in saying, I want to build this. I was focused on the users, but I completely ignored the reality of actual customers. That's why the how is so important. You have to become a problem detective. Go to the online forums where your paying customers hang out. You need to just read. Look for the threads where they are complaining. Once you spot a specific complaint that comes up over and over, that's your signal. That's the seed of a real problem you can solve. But finding the problem is just step one. The real magic, the core of this entire cheat code, is how you test your idea for a solution without going broke. And that brings us to what is probably the most important part of this framework, the 3-client rule. The rule is a complete mental shift. Forget about launching. Your new goal is to get 3 clients. That's it, 3 paying clients. Your entire focus is on serving those 3 clients better than anyone has ever served them before. Why just 3? Because this isn't about revenue yet, it's about learning. It turns your business into a rapid learning lab. From just 3 clients, you learn what's broken and you discover better ways to solve their problem. You find out what you should never do again, and you do it all without risking your entire company on a flawed assumption. Let me give you a concrete example. We built a platform and I was obsessed with the online features. I thought the tech was the most important part. But after working with our first small batch of clients, we learned something that changed everything, really. The real value for them was the opportunities the platform created. Our research gave them content for their social media. The project gave them a reason to get on stage at industry events. We had this huge aha moment. We weren't just building a tool. We were building a marketing engine for our clients. So we immediately shifted our emphasis to creating more of those moments. That's an insight we never would have had without the intense feedback loop the 3-client rule creates. This cycle of intense listening and shaping does more than just improve your product. It builds your credibility and it shows you a path to something much bigger. This is where you earn the right to attempt the final and most advanced step of the cheat code. Mastering the pivot. A pivot isn't just a small change. It's when you take all your learnings and make the brave decision, and it is scary, to rebuild your product into what it should be. It's often adjacent to your original idea, but it's a fundamental evolution. Why is this the ultimate goal? Because this is where you unlock explosive growth. The founders who refuse to pivot stay stuck forever. The ones who master the pivot take all the credibility they've built and cash it in for something much bigger. But how do you do it? First, you keep your original business running as a safety line while you build the future. Second, you don't do it alone. You go back to the people in your network, those clients and connections who saw your work, and you bring them in as partners on the new venture. This is exactly what we did. We're now building a new platform with partners we gained through the experiences of the first one. And because we have that proven credibility, we have buy-in. And the feeling that comes with that is pure relief. It's the feeling of knowing you're going to be okay, that the business is going to be okay, and the relief that you weren't wrong to believe in your vision all along. That's the power of the pivot. But the learning doesn't stop here. As you start applying this, I know new specific questions are going to come up. To help with that, I've put a link in the description where you can directly submit any questions you have. I personally read every submission to decide what to cover in future videos. So to make sure you don't miss the video that answers your question, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. And finally, if this video was helpful, giving it a like is a huge help. It tells the algorithm that this was valuable content and that I should make more like it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.